Hey everyone, to all my friends and family at Grace Lutheran Church in Port St. Lucie. This is a difficult announcement that we're kind of forced to make. When you look at God's people all throughout the Bible, you see that there were difficult times they had to go through. You look at God's people when they left Egypt. They wandered around the wilderness for 40 years. I mean, you look at God's people after they were their own nation and they were taken over and brought into captivity. That through hundreds of years, that was a very difficult time. And you look at Christians and how they were ripped from their homelands and taken away from everything they knew and loved. We've been looking at that as we've been walking together through 1 Peter here in Lent. But what's interesting about all those times is that as difficult as they were, God's people also saw a nugget of truth about God. That even though they may have faced difficulties, but they realized that God was always there with them and for them. And that they became a people that were about God and his things in the wilderness, in exile, and when they were taken from their homeland. And that's good news, I think. And I think today we face a similar predicament. And the coronavirus is a worldwide pandemic. And the CDC has now placed recommendations that we stop all activity in groups of 10 or more, which basically means anything we do at the church. And it's with great sadness that I have to announce that we are suspending all in-person gatherings at Grace Lutheran Church. We're still trying to figure out what this means, how we do things, but I think we got a plan going forward as we walk into the exile, as we walk into the wilderness together. The first part of the plan is, while in-person worship is stopping, worship itself isn't stopping. I've been talking with Cindy and some other folks at the church, and we are still going to record a worship service, but we're going to do it differently. We're going to go in there on Saturday, and we're going to record it, and we're going to record it so it's more akin to like a TV show than what you've seen in the past if you watched a past recording where the camera's just in the back. It's going to be much more produced than that. Hopefully that comes out well. The other thing we're doing is trying to provide some encouragement so that you'll see little videos kind of like this that'll hit little encouraging, kind of funny comic things. We call them memes for my generation. We will have little stuff that's thought-provoking, stuff that's just funny. Things that provide grace and peace to a chaotic and lonely time. And I'm calling that the Daily Grace. And that's on our website. Just go to gracelutheranpsl.com and you can find the Daily Grace there. Now, let's talk about those in our congregation that that YouTube and any kind of means of watching or streaming a worship service would be difficult. What we're going to do with that is we're going to hand out a packet. After I end up recording the sermon, I'm going to put them on a bunch of DVDs, and we're also going to produce a packet of things that were produced on the website for that Daily Grace side of the site. So we want everyone, whether or not they can they can stream things into their home well, we want them all to worship with us because that's the challenge of this. Like, how do we live life together during this time? It's difficult. And we're having to figure it out. So there's a lot of things that are going to happen. A lot of things are going to be new. And let's work it out together. And let's go forward in all of this, because the people of Israel became the people of Israel in the exile. God's people became who they are Most of the Old Testament is written in exile. And the church rallies around when we realize that we are people of the cross. So let's go forward, Grace. Let's go forward into a new future here, where we may not be able to hug each other because this virus wants to get us, but we can still love each other and discover that God is for us. So my declaration right now is simply this: that Grace Lutheran Church is giving grace and peace to a chaotic and lonely time. Please let us know any way that we can help you. And please check your email often, as we will be sending out a lot of stuff in an effort to figure out how to communicate. I love you guys very much, and I hope to see you soon. Grace and peace to you all.